Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. The president of the US Conference of Catholic Bishops believes that many of the new social movements in the US should be understood as pseudo-religions and even replacements and rivals to traditional Christian belief. Archbishop José Gomez of Los Angeles made his comments during a virtual address to the Congress of Catholics in Public Life in Madrid. Among the list of social movements, Archbishop Gomez included such things as social justice, wokeness, identity politics, intersectionality, and successor ideology. He asserted that it is important for the Church to understand and engage these new movements, not on social or political terms, but as dangerous substitutes for true religion. To address these social movements, Archbishop Gomez said that the Church needs to proclaim Jesus Christ boldly and creatively, adding that the gospel remains the most powerful force for social change that the world has ever seen. He added that the Church needs to tell its own story of salvation in a new way, with charity and confidence and without fear. The people of Texas have voted to pass a constitutional amendment prohibiting the state from imposing restrictions on religious services and organisations. On Tuesday, more than 62% of voters in the Lone Star State voted in favour of the amendment known as Proposition 3. During the COVID-19 pandemic, several states across the United States imposed restrictions on religious services and gatherings. On more than one occasion, the US Supreme Court has ruled against such state-imposed restrictions as being contrary to religious liberty, as understood by the First Amendment to the US Constitution. Now, government officials in Texas, at least, will be banned from prohibiting or limiting religious services or organisations. Staying in the US, and the bishops of the United States have reiterated their concern that President Joe Biden's proposed Build Back Better Act will expand the use of taxpayers' money to fund abortions. In a letter dated November the 3rd, the chairman of 6 US bishops' committees stated that using taxpayers' money to fund abortions is, quote, completely unacceptable. The Act is currently set to be voted on later this month. The bishops also voiced their concern at other measures currently contained within the draft bill, including provisions that could effectively exclude faith-based providers from childcare and pre-kindergarten programmes for children. The bishops said that these provisions depart from the approach of existing federal programmes, that they do not respect religious liberty, and that they will not expand access to early childhood education. Pope Francis has called on Israel and the Palestinian National Authority to restart direct negotiations in order to work towards a two-state solution in the Holy Land. The Pope made his remarks on Thursday while receiving the leader of the Palestinian National Authority, President Mahmoud Abbas, to the Vatican. The Holy Father said that a more vigorous effort on the part of the international community was required to help the Middle Eastern peace process get back on track. Pope Francis also stated that Jerusalem, which is claimed by both Israel and the Palestinians, should be recognised as a place of encounter and not of conflict. After meeting the Pope, President Abbas also held discussions with the Vatican Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro Parolin. Meanwhile, Pope Francis has appointed an Italian Franciscan nun to the second highest ranking position in the government of the Vatican city-state. Sister Raffaella Petrini is the first woman and the first non-cleric to hold the post of Secretary General of the Vatican's Governariate. Sister Raffaella replaces Bishop Fernando Vergas Alzaga, who was promoted to the post of President of the Vatican City-State last month. 52-year-old Sister Raffaella Petrini is a member of the Franciscan Sisters of the Eucharist. Since 2005, she has been an official in the Vatican's Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples. She is also a professor of the Economy of Welfare and Sociology at Rome's Pontifical University of St. Thomas Aquinas, where she received her doctorate in social sciences. Police in the US state of Colorado have identified a suspect wanted for vandalising the Cathedral Basilica of the Immaculate Conception in Denver. She's 26-year-old local woman Madeleine Ann Kramer, who is known to be a public supporter of abortion. The cathedral in Denver was attacked on October the 10th. The church building, sidewalks and a statue of Pope St. John Paul II were all spray-painted with offensive statements and insignia. The graffiti was later removed with the help of parishioners and other volunteers. According to the Archdiocese of Denver, at least 25 parishes and ministry locations in northern Colorado have been the target of vandalism, property destruction or theft since February of last year. Finally, one of the United Kingdom's leading pro-life campaign groups has launched its own weekly news broadcast. Entitled Real Time, the new programme is the brainchild of the Society for the Protection of Unborn Children, also known as SPUC. The show premiered on Friday, November the 5th, and will be broadcast every Friday from the organisation's newsroom in Glasgow. SPUC say they hope their weekly news programme will empower others to speak up and defend society's most vulnerable members by sharing thought-provoking features, statistics and other facts about abortion. Well, that's your latest news headlines for the moment. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also visit us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.